Exploded onto the pop scene 10 years ago as the first ever winner of Pop Idol. The past decade has shaped him as a performer and taken him all over the world with his music, releasing award-winning albums along the way. Now, he's just made his debut on the West End stage in the hit musical Cabaret, a role that sees him donning his lederhosen as the notorious MC to perform some of the most iconic songs in musical theatre. Please welcome Will Young. You say the hair's all there already then?
Yeah, a lot goes into this.
A lot.
Yeah.
Did you...
3 hours of makeup.
3 hours, goodness me, almost as long as me. Oh. Did you watch way back Joel Grey doing MC and...
Yeah, Cabaret is one of my favourite films. And Bob Fosse, who directed it, is my favourite choreographer. And so I've always... This is my #1 musical that I've always wanted to do.
Does that make it harder, in a way, to do it?
It was hard to begin with, just to take the plunge and say yes, because Joel Grey, who played the MC in the film, it was a seminal role, really, and I don't use that word lightly. And so it took me a while to really get away from that. And then for the last year, preparing for it, I haven't watched the film again or listened to any records or, you know, recordings of it. Yeah.
What's the greatest pleasure in doing it? You're on stage at the Savoy every night now doing it. I mean, what's giving you the greatest buzz about it?
I think that's a great question. It's such a liberating part because he has every spectrum of emotions. So, as an actor, I can change it every night because he's basically insane, and that makes it really exciting.
So you can sort of do anything with any segment in a way.
Yeah, so like an example is the other night I had a sandwich before I went on stage and I really needed to burp, and during my pop gigs I couldn't really burp at the audience, but I just burped at the audience and it doesn't matter, I can get away with it because he's insane.
And in lederhosen.
And in lederhosen. So it keeps it... It's always exciting. Every night is exciting.
You have out also, Funny Peculiar, the autobiography at the moment.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this, and there's a piece in it which I thought was quite telling. You were talking about things like Mrs. Henderson Presents and whatnot. And it says, I went from a theatre tour to an arena tour to landing that part in the film Mrs. Henderson Presents. I released 3 singles, all brilliant, very funny videos. It was an amazing success story, but the sad thing is I didn't have the time or the ability to enjoy it.
No, I didn't, no. No, it was so busy.
Has that changed now? Do you feel now that you can more then?
Yeah, I'm really... I mean, the cliche of being in the moment, you know, I've learnt to be in the moment. So even en route, well, I say even en route, every day I think, brilliant, this is what I'm doing today. I'm coming on your show, and then I go to the theatre, and I'm a lot more thankful. I think at the beginning, because it was so quick and everything changed so quickly for me in my life.
Do you think this is common to most pop stars, that it's a meteoric rise? There are 2 things that are difficult then. 1, keeping up there. 2, keeping sane and your feet on the ground.
Yeah, I think keeping sane is probably the #1 thing. I don't know, for me it was a very quick rise, you know, because within 20 weeks I went from being someone that's left university, finished university, to being a fully fledged pop star with the #1 single.
Do you look back on any parts of that rise with embarrassment? Do you look back and think, oh, I wish I hadn't been like that, I was horrible? Or...
No, because I learnt so much. No, I'm not... I mean, you know, to learn things, you have to live through them and...
But to go from Pop Idol to then, as you mentioned in that film, Mrs. Henderson Presents, acting with Dame Judi Dench, I mean... Were you not aware of the moment then? There you are with Dame Judi.
There was a moment. I remember being in Los Angeles and swimming in this pool at 7 in the morning, and I'd just done a video in Cuba, and I felt like, this is mental. I mean, you know, I'd just done this video for my album, and then I was promoted... I was at a film premiere in Los Angeles, and I thought, how the hell did this happen? But I feel that now in a very different... You know, when I'm on stage every night at the Savoy, I mean, you know, I'm standing there in lederhosen playing a mental part.
Or a corset,
Yeah, the corset. And, I mean, last night, for example, it was a full house last night, and I spotted Ian McKellen was in the audience, you know, and I was terrified. I thought, my God, you know, all the people to see... You know, see Ian McKellen. But it really spurred me on, so...
Does it give you extra ambitions, then, Will, really? Do you want to do more of the stage musicals now?
Yeah, working with Rufus Norris, who's the director, and Javier, the choreographer, Katrina, the designer, has made me realise that I can play completely very different characters to the stuff that I do in my music. So really it's opened up a whole new avenue. And because it's been received really well, you know, I think perhaps if I would have...
relief.
Yeah, it is a relief. Yeah.
Because Dame Judy always says, you know, she only ever takes a part that she thinks she can't do. She wants to be scared.
Yes, you need to be scared. You need to be scared. But I'm having a great time in that. And it was great writing that book. It was, you know, I felt like I put a lot of things to bed writing that book.
Well, we wish you well as the MC tonight. A bit envious in a way, really. What a fab part.
I've got tattoos. You could run a competition. Guess where my tattoos are?
I think up in the back pocket that comes off and shows it, have you?
No, I haven't.
Where's your tattoo, then?
I've got one on my bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got one here and one here. Yeah.
We know now. The secret was revealed on this programme.
Says Alan.
Does it? I won't tell you what the one on my bum says. I'm see William Cabaret at the Savoy Theatre, London, and his autobiography, Funny Peculiar, is out now. And an interesting read it is, too. My thanks to Will Young.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.